Storm Tracker 9 weather with Chief Meteorologist Holden LaCroix.
Welcome back again. We still are waiting that special report with President Biden. As soon as that comes available, we're going to toss right to that. But for now, let's talk about these great conditions we have today comparative to the past several days of 100-degree temperatures. Even yesterday at 95 felt much better. Live look towards downtown Eugene. It is starting to get fairly blustery out there right now, gusting anywhere to 20-25 miles per hour. Right now, the sustained wind is about 18 miles per hour here in Eugene, sitting at 90 degrees. But again, that's about 5 degrees cooler than what we had yesterday. And you can see the effects of the Pacific Ocean across the Northwest shave down these temperatures quite a bit. In fact, Corvallis still sitting at 87 degrees at the moment. Medford down there at 97 still has yet to hit 100 degrees after they've had about 10 days of 100-degree temperatures. Now, wanted to mention about this first. We've kind of been talking about this on social media. We've had several earthquakes right offshore, and this is kind of at a fault zone. It's what we call the Juan de Fuca plate, and it's actually subducting under the North American plate. But despite where these dots are located, it's actually more on the transform boundary right behind it where it's actually spreading apart. And there's not really a major tsunami threat because it's kind of slipping side to side rather than pulling apart. Whenever we have it pulling apart or subducting under the plate, that tends to push a little bit more water, and that's when we expect a tsunami threat. Well, that's one reason we're not expecting a tsunami. And the other reason is it's not really that strong of an earthquake. Right now, it's the highest one we had around 6.4 magnitude, which is pretty strong. But usually we have a tsunami threat when that's over 7.2 or so. And the other big factor is it's 7 miles deep, meaning right below the ocean floor. And that tends to not push as much water as it would be if it was a mile up closer toward the ocean surface. Now, there is the potential. We are going to be watching this very closely, but right now there is no threat for any tsunami threat, but we have had about 4 considerable earthquakes offshore, all above that 5.0 magnitude. And again, that's located right off Vancouver Island. We will be watching that closely, but weather-wise, it's not as hot. Thanks to this guy. He is pushed off toward the south and east, and we're starting to see the effects of some cool air offshore. That has been the culprit for that marine layer, and that is going to remain parked in place really all the way through the weekend. We do heat things up briefly. High pressure is going to try to build back to the north and west, but it's going to be struggling, and we're only going to be warming up to around 93 tomorrow afternoon. But overnight tonight, we do cool things back off, 52 here across Eugene. Deep marine layer once again for the Oregon coast, and I will say open those windows once again because tomorrow afternoon we still are going to get it quite warm, 89 degrees, but it is going to be very comfortable. In fact, most of the day will be in the 80s, and I will say the breezy afternoon that we're seeing right now, well, we ramp that up just a little bit more tomorrow, and it is going to be another windy afternoon for the Oregon coast. Here comes that marine layer tomorrow morning, but by the afternoon it'll start to clear out, and that'll be the trend for the rest of the week. Real quick snapshot of those wind gusts this evening, gusting at times to 40 miles per hour, but you can see sustained winds in the 30-mile-per-hour range for the coast, and tomorrow afternoon 20-mile-per-hour range across Eugene and 30-mile-per-hour range out toward the Oregon coast. So for this weekend, fantastic. We are talking about temperatures in the 80s to near 90 degrees, wall-to-wall sunshine, and we are expecting temperatures to remain the same really for the rest of the week. Here's the coast, 65 for the next few days. Again, morning clouds, afternoon winds. By the weekend, by Monday and Tuesday, we should start to see a break in those winds. But for the areas of Roseburg, 93 degrees Friday afternoon. We are expecting temperatures to briefly warm back up into Tuesday, but we are expecting to kind of hover around that 90-92 degree temperature. Up into the Cascades, 80s, not 90s. We do have to watch next Wednesday very closely. There is a potential for a little bit of monsoonal moisture, and that could mean thunderstorms, but we're going to be watching that closely. Here across the Willamette Valley, though, 89 tomorrow afternoon, and you can see that we're hovering anywhere from 89 to 93 degrees. Just a perfect Oregon summer out there.
Better than the triple digits. That is